Welcome to my introduction for EDACE 785. My name is Nathaniel McCoy. Usually go by Nate. Nathaniel's great, but Nathaniel's way too formal for this particular context, so please just refer to me as Nate. That'll be just fine for the next 7 weeks. First, a little about me. I am located in Normal, Illinois. It's a community pretty much in the geographic center of the state, about an hour north of the state capital in Springfield, and about 2.5 hours south of the Chicago area. Sister community is Bloomington, Illinois, and combined there's about 174,000 people in the local community, along with a community college, the institution I work for, and 2 universities. The picture that just came up is myself and my wife, Darlene. We've been married for about 9 years, and I like to joke that I came pre-domesticated on my second marriage. Professionally, I work for Lincoln College. It is a small private institution serving about 13 to 1,400 students in a given academic year. Presently, I am the assistant director of our Accelerated Bridge to Education program, offering 5 and 8-week course formats for adult students, and the assistant registrar on campus. Main campus is in Lincoln, Illinois, and the satellite campus is there in Normal. Previously, I was the non-traditional student services coordinator and served as an academic advisor, and the picture that just came up is a photo of me in my former office working with one of my advisees. As far as my family goes, you already met Darlene. Here we are in the Wisconsin Dells in a parakeet house up there. Darlene loves animals of all shapes and sizes. We have no children of our own, except for the 4-footed and furry variety. Here in a moment, photos will start coming up of our furry friends, and we'll do those in order of age here in a second. So first is Cleo. She's our 9-year-old short-haired tabby. Then we have Abigail. Abigail is 8 and a Boxer Jack Russell mix, and this is usually how I get greeted as soon as I walk in the door from work. Always with a ball and always ready for action. Next up we have Fergie. Fergie is our 7-year-old Calico Tabby mix, and she's a bit of a scaredy cat, so here we have her hiding underneath the coffee table. Next up we have our 4-year-old Maddie. Maddie can usually be found sleeping among the dishes. And then we have Gridley. Gridley's our newest adoptee at 2 years old and is the only other male in the household and likes to get into trouble. This last photo that's going to come up is one that was just too cute to leave out and is usually where I find Abigail and Gridley on weekends. They have become fast friends since we brought Gridley into the house, and I can usually find them in a sunbeam and napping together over the course of any particular weekend. So a little bit about my education. I earned my bachelor's degree in history from Illinois State University through the teacher education sequence, and this is a shot of campus south on the quad looking toward the library in the center with some of the other campus buildings on either side. In addition, I also attended 2 community colleges, South Suburban Community College in South Holland, Illinois, during a time while I was up in the Chicagoland area, and then Heartland Community College when I did return to Normal after that brief stint for my first marriage. Presently, I am in the master's program here for the adult and continuing education degree at Kansas State University, and this is my 6th class in that program, so I'm about halfway through. Have loved the last year and am looking forward to continuing to learn as we go through this next year, and I look to complete sometime either this summer or next fall. As far as my interests and hobbies, as I mentioned, my bachelor's degree is in history and it is still a passion for me. I am also an avid reader, and my wife jokes that this is what I will look like upon retirement. I would love to have a library like that. It's a painting entitled The Bookworm. As far as history goes, my special interest is actually in religious history, particularly Christian, but I enjoy all varieties of religious history and learning about how we make meaning out of our sacred experiences, craft theologies out of that, and the communal identity of a religion. I'm also an avid board gamer and role-playing gamer. Love doing puzzles and jigsaws in my spare time, which there hasn't been a whole lot of. Those of you who may have been in class with me previously will no doubt have caught the Star Trek or Star Wars references I make on occasion. I commit the heresy of loving them both and don't have a particular preference between the two. In terms of dream trips, I actually had trouble narrowing this one down because there are so many different places I would love to go in the world. Uh, my wife and I have traveled extensively throughout the United States, but when we talk about overseas travel, there are still a number of places I would like to go outside of our few vacations in Mexico. First up would be Japan. This would be the Tokugawa Shogunate Palace, just a little bit outside of Tokyo, built in the 1600s. Next would be Egypt. Both Darlene and I would love to go to the Giza Plateau. The next is Petra. It's a location that not many are familiar with in Jordan, where a Christian community carved a city into the cliff faces themselves, and it's always looked like a fascinating place to go visit. Love to make it part of a trip to Israel at some point if I could do a Middle East tour. Cairo, Petra, Jerusalem, you name it. This next one I would like to do at some point in my life, the pilgrimage along the way of St. James, ending with the Cathedral of St. James de Compostela there in northern Spain. Or, equally, I would love to visit the Acropolis in Greece and wander around Athens for a little bit and just soak in Western civilization. As far as my objectives for this particular course, as I mentioned, my bachelor's degree was in history and I did a teacher certification sequence with that, so I'd like to strengthen my course design knowledge base and strengthen my grasp of Bloom's taxonomy and how we can use that to write effective objectives and leverage that language. Combined, I'd like to put those together so that I could better support our college faculty here on campus in our accelerated degree program on effective course design for adults. And lastly, but probably most importantly, I would like to learn from all of you. One of the most effective strategies I've encountered has been the discussion boards, and I love hearing your ideas and sharing those with you. I'm looking forward to the journey over the next 7 weeks, and I appreciate your time and watching through this. Thank you.